Welcome to Actonville, the radio station for everyone. We have introduced Mr. Alec Granger as well as Matt from Salt Prison Office Automation. Hi, good morning again to you. How are you doing?
Well, thank you, Alec Granger, Salt Bison Office Automation CEO. Happy to be here, and good morning to all the listeners out there.
Lovely stuff. Alec, tell us a little bit more about yourself and the company.
Okay, just to put it into context, I'm a graduate from the UNISA School of Business Leadership. I've got a master's degree in business leadership. I graduated in 2013. I was fortunate that the research I conducted around small business got me a ticket to Shanghai in China and to Mumbai in India. So with my exposure globally, I came back to my regular job in a corporate. My grounding is in triple BE and transformation. I left my job in 2018 and came across a massive opportunity in the print space, driven by a school in a rural area that was looking for ink for printing exams. I delivered that ink and found that my price was 50% cheaper than the historic prices. So I put my research hat on. I went to about 8 schools in the area to ask the question, what are the challenges? And it's amazing that we go on in the urban areas not understanding the challenges around printing in the education sector. The major problems that we found from research, which was a resonating theme throughout all the schools that we've seen, was firstly that the cost of renting print infrastructure is very expensive. The next option a school would be to purchase a machine, but then the challenge would be who would fix it and support it.
Yes.
So you have things like service contracts, but if you look at the costs that accrue, we found schools that spend up to 60% of their school governing body budget on printing alone.
That is scary, very scary.
And looking at rural communities, you can imagine matriculants coming out, they're faced with a bush and there's no opportunity. So our research also showed in those communities, there's a host of young people that are just being pushed out of matric into the unknown. They then come to the cities hoping that because they have a matric, there's an opportunity, and actually they have no skills, they find themselves stuck. So we conducted the research, and it was quite clear that if we were able to come up with solutions to this, inclusive solution that addresses all the research findings, we may be onto something. So the first touch was for us to get into the big guys. We noticed the brands that were out there and quickly realized that it's a closed area, not open to everybody to engage, and it has to do with you being able to distribute a machine. So we were not able to get access to machines. We then started pushing the consumables because we were able to compete on the consumables. The reaction in the market was, well, if you use the consumable from this company, your warranty is void. So like, gee, right. So that's the first thing.
Yeah.
So we made a specific observation. The observation we made is that wherever we went to, we seen an HP laptop and we're like, that's a decent product. Actonville is a good example. You have quite a few schools around here and you have issues with youth and drugs and all this type of thing. And we're finding that from the experience we've had, a lot of these youth actually have no option. They have a lot of time on their hands with nothing to do. So we're saying to companies, we're saying to institutions, we're saying to schools, we're saying Actonville is the middle of an industrial area. You can imagine the amount of printing happening. How we approach it is simple. The investment is made in the asset at a lower running cost. We can show you financially that you're saving a host of money by owning this piece of kit. But what it immediately does is it triggers a chain of events. And those events are, on installation of the machine, we ask the institution or the school to invite the youth from that community just to look at this technology. 9 times out of 10, by the time we're 20% through, the level of interest is incredible. The youth get energized. The environment within which this happens is incredible. Mac will talk about a recent youth day that we had in Davidton. I think there were over 40, 50 young people with strip machines on a Saturday morning.
Wow.
So it's simple. The first industrial revolution talked about the invention of the light bulb and so forth. The second one was then utilizing those inventions for the benefit of society and improving production processes. The third was the development of the microchip in the 1950s. We in the fourth phase, where the implementation of that for the benefit of humanity is coming through, and we're talking specifically in the digital print space. The devices we are selling, you can print off your cell phone, and we're taking this as long as it's a wireless network. We can apply this model I'm talking about in any community. We've got machines as far as Morokwang, that's close to the Botswana border. As long as you've got young people, as long as you've got a school with the need for printing, we plug them in. But it isn't just practical training. We give them access to HP University. Now, HP University is an international platform where they can get certified in printers and things like laptops, anything to do with this digital age that's coming through. So our drive really is to say to the youth, come closer. It doesn't cost the community or anything, just the investment in the asset. And we're saying the reason the investment in the asset is important is because
very well know, we are entering a digital age.
Yes.
Where printing, just like your CDs, your videos, or movie shops, etc., have been phased out. How are you going to be addressing that? Is there still going to be printing required out there?
Okay, let's talk about it. So it's a very good question, but let's look at the reality on the ground. Wireless printing is not even entrenched at all. So we're talking about paperless printing, when in fact for a school system, from a school system, during lockdown we got quite busy because everyone said everyone goes online, you do it on there. But how many kids have access to that? So printing hard paper, I think in Africa generally is still light years away. But as it changes, we're in this digital space. So when it changes from this to paperless, we're at the very forefront, and we're saying to the youth, you actually don't have an option because the future is technology. Come closer, get into this community. We're building a community of young people that are driving this next age. If you can tell me of a company that's doing this already, I'll be very impressed. But I'll tell you what, the youth out there, the appetite is massive. I get to a school and you find youngsters just hanging around there. They look at the street car and I just talk about technology. He's got a phone. That's the technology level he has. And I'm saying, come closer. We've got a lot of case references. We've got young people that had no hope, that have now looked at this and said, you know what, it doesn't cost me nothing. I don't have to run around. All we do is we onboard them, we equip them with marketing material, and they go on social media. I got guys in Burgersford selling in Mafeking on a phone. So I'm saying we're not limiting the youth to the opportunities within this area, but they're now on a platform where they have access to a global village. So that's how it is. And what we do, we have induction workshops. So the first thing would be touch base with us either on our social media platform. We'll give you the details there. You can get onto us. You can register with us as what we call a dealer. That means that you're part of our community. We get your details. Obviously, that'll be protected in terms of the POPI Act. And basically, you're ready to go. You could operate from your house, on your phone, touching the globe. So
really, it's open to everyone, not just the youth per se. Or are you more directing your efforts to the youth?
I'm definitely not a youth, and I think I'm fortunate that this has come across me. And the reason I'm saying that is because if it were not for this, I would have been stuck in an analog system, which we all have been.
Yes.
This has opened up a door, and we're saying this door should open up not just to me as an individual, but I remember being a young person. I remember being a young person with no opportunity. I was fortunate somebody gave me an opportunity, and I'm saying we're in a position where we can have a social impact. So our drive really is to have social impact. The reason we say youth, because we're finding that some older people want to learn technology, some are afraid of it, and we encourage all the time, but the young people are excited by it. We've got schools where the young people now print for the educators. Now that's changed the game completely, because what happens is teachers round a device trying to print, that's the historic thing. The youth are saying, don't touch this thing, we got this, give us your material. So we got in Kuruman a good example there, a young man there, he had never touched a printer, we stripped the machine, he got it, he loves it, he had an issue, we sorted it out. It's a learning community. And historically, you need a qualified, certified, and we say, at what point do we get our youth involved in this? We've got the practical, we've got the theoretical. He can grow as fast as he wants to if he's got the appetite. So we're creating a platform, guys, and it's not just South Africa. I think we're looking at Africa in general, because you might have a school in Zambia that's battling, for example. We can apply the same business model. So I think it's groundbreaking, blue ocean strategy, different, and I'll tell you what, it's working. Follow us on YouTube, you'll see all the case references.
It's interesting,
yes,
Meryl?
Yeah, it's just so uplifting, and it's something, I can understand exactly what you're saying in terms of the students actually helping the teachers. We all know what it's like, especially like myself, the older generation, when you get a new cell phone and boys, please come help me with the set up the cell phone. I agree with you. It's looking at the youngsters and how eager they are. They know the technology is the future, and they can help the rest of society because they are equipped to actually. I keep on saying I wasn't born with that chip in my brain. Youngsters are, because they just think differently, and they can look at a piece of technology when they've got the guidance of people like yourself, and they are so eager to learn. And as you say, you can see when you talk about the hope that you're giving people, you can see your entire face glows. And well done to you. It's phenomenal.
And then
yeah.
now, in terms of the youth, is there anything in specific that they would have had to study, or can anyone basically come forward and learn?
The one thing we're not doing, and I think it's not fair to put a criteria up there. I mean, it's got to be a mixture of people. And I think what lights my fire is when I look at the glow in the eyes when they learn this thing. If you listen to the interviews, you can just see that it's the impact we're looking for. So we're not chasing money, and I must emphasize that, because we've also been approached by people saying we can resell. And I said, guys, it's one price for all schools. This is really geared at relieving the schools of the print cost, or companies of the print cost. Introducing technology that is next generation, right? And creating opportunity for young people to have a platform where they can exercise this fourth industrial revolution. Now you tell me, where's the print? Everyone talks about it, but there is no platform. We're saying this is the platform. But we're in the print space, and we're encouraging other OEMs, other suppliers to look at how they can assist the youth in communities, because printing is one space, but we like printing for a reason. It's across all industries, so it's sustainable. Schools will always have to print to some degree, so
That is so
it's
true,
making sense for us.
That is so true. I mean, I've engaged with a few schools, and definitely printing and photocopiers is one of the biggest challenges that they have from a monetary perspective. So yeah, absolutely. And if you guys can assist them to cut down on costs in that regard, that monies can be used for something else that the school requires.
100%. And I think what's happening now, there's a bit of what can I say, for the screeners, the COVID screeners at schools, because they go on for 3 years, and then after that they've got to phase them out. We were at a center last week, about 20 of them will have nothing to do. So we said to the principal, wait a minute, let's just show them what's available. So we went in there, and of those 20, I think only one decided this is not for me. So you can see the level of interest, but at least they're not walking away with no hope. They're saying, well, we can look at this. We got good case references in Davidton after we had our big session there. The lady called Lorato, single parent, 2 kids. I think she's seen like 22 schools a week.
Wow.
We landed machines already, and that's what it's about. It makes sense from a cost point of view. It's creating opportunity for someone from that community. So what we're not going to do is send someone from Davidton to Soweto, not a chance. There's youth there.
In your own, your own.
So that's the way we do it, yeah. So it's quite, I think it's a calling to a purpose, and we're looking for partners that can create a broader awareness amongst the youth, because a lot of the youth don't even get to hear this stuff. So we're here for that reason. And we're also present on Facebook under the same name, and Twitter we're there as well, and LinkedIn. So for all the corporates, just check out what we're doing there. What we're saying to corporates just quickly is there's lots of schools struggling out there. If you want to do social development, that's the right place. We complain about our education system, right? There's a chance for us to give back there. And I'm talking about specific. If you look at foundation phase, 90% of the schools in the townships do not have color printing, which is critical for that level. Corporates, come to the party, support a school. You're operating a mining operation in the area, there's a school there, it doesn't have color print. Come on, get a machine for them. That's the message,
Yeah. And how can they contact you? What is your office number?
Telephone number 011 392 1508. You can get us on WhatsApp as well, 072 157 2681.
And we will be posting this on the group on Facebook, the Career Talk Show. So please, if you are listening, we'd love for you to engage with us. Remember our WhatsApp line 074 660 5829 if you are in South Africa, and if you're abroad, it is +27 74 660 5829. We're going to take a little break right now, and we will be back with Mac, and he will give us some information on his journey and how he joined the organization. So lovely, listen, and you can be where you are and just enjoy, and remember, career is important. It is the future of your life. Absolutely, it is for everyone. And you with me today in the studio, Ish and Meryl, and we had an interesting interview with 2 gentlemen, Mr. Alec Granger and Mac from South Bison Office Automation. Hi again, Alec, how are you doing?
Well, thank you. Thanks for the opportunity to present what we've started. Yeah.
Yourself and Mac has actually given us a good insight into what your organization does and your vision and also the purpose. Can you give us some concluding remarks for the listeners, and also just give them contact details so that they know who they can or where they can contact you?
Okay, so just to recap, we are an authorized HP business partner. with access to high volume print solutions for schools and for industry. This is next generation machines. We also do upgrades on previous models, so if you need to trade in HP machine, we can take it in. We're also busy on an exercise where we're recovering old machines, but we're finding that the cost of recovery on old technology is much more expensive than new. So we're recommending institutions that would like to move with the digital age to actually consider this. Remembering as well that the investment in this infrastructure opens up opportunity for young people within your community to provide technical support on these machines. So we're encouraging society to rally behind this for youth, not only in South Africa but in Africa as well. As I speak, we've got interest as far as Tanzania, so we've seen a bit of traction. The best way to keep this to speed, because our business model is evolving all the time, is on YouTube. You can catch our latest videos on applications, installations. So we're really encouraging the youth. We need to mobilize youth to get involved in this fourth industrial revolution technology. Yeah. Contact details, you can get us on 011-392-1508. Also on email, southbisonautomation@gmail.com. You can get us on Twitter, LinkedIn as well. Yeah.
And the details will be posted on the group, the Career Talk group on Facebook. So please also go check them out there so that you can contact them and be part of this revolution. That's amazing. Thank you so much for being part of today's session. It has really been amazing. It has been an eye opener, and congratulations on everything that you're doing, and I wish you all the best going forward.
Thanks to the station, and thank you to the listeners for listening to our story. Watch the space. Thank you.
Absolutely. So take a look at yourself in the mirror, and if you want to make that change, it's only you that can make that change.